Hello and welcome back everybody, my name is Nick Fry, also known as Nick's Music Taste, and I'm here to talk to you about my taste in music. Thank you for tuning in for yet another review, I hope you are doing well. Today we are going to be discussing the second studio album by British rock band Black Country New Road, titled Ants From Up There. Before we get into it though, make sure you are subscribed so you never miss out on a new video of mine. Alright everyone, we've got an album to review, so let's get it. Black Country New Road's Ants From Up There was released on February 4th, 2022. This is a band that I've had my eye on for a couple years now. Back when a close friend of mine showed me a 2019 performance of theirs on YouTube, I was immediately intrigued and became a fan. The band released their debut album titled For the First Time on February 5th, 2021. Just one day too far from being exactly 1 year away from the release of Ants From Up There. For the First Time was met with very positive reception, including from myself, and I know I'm not alone when I say that the release of the album was the pivotal moment when I realized that the band was legit. So since its release, I've been really looking forward to its follow-up. I did not expect it to come out 1 year later, but I'm not complaining. I remember when the band announced Ants From Up There on their Instagram in October 2021, and as exciting as it was that a new album was soon to be heard, in the moment of its announcement, it felt like an eternity away. So now that it's here and I'm able to share with you all my thoughts on it, I am happy right now. And I hope you're happy watching this. Let's move on though. So the wait for the release of Ants From Up There was nearly over when the band posted this announcement online on January 31st, 2022. Keep in mind, this is just days ahead of the album's release. And the announcement was that frontman Isaac Wood was leaving the band right away. He was prioritizing his mental health, as he stated in the announcement that he is feeling not so great right now. Tours were canceled and the band stated that they will continue to make music without Isaac, and they have already began to do so. Black Country New Road, once a 7-member group, is now a 6-member group. And as sad as this is for the fans, I know we all wish nothing but the best for Isaac. With all of that being said, Ants From Up There now has an entirely different meaning and feel to it than what it was originally going to be like. Isaac being the lead vocalist and guitarist on both of their albums in their discography so far just make them that much more emotionally heavy, and I can only imagine what it feels like for the remaining 6 in the band. Anyway, we know Isaac and his role on the album, but those 6 people, who are they and what instruments do they play on Ants From Up There? There is Georgia Ellery on string instruments like violin and cello. Lewis Evans plays horns such as saxophone and flute. Tyler Hyde has bass guitar duties. Mae Kershaw plays keyboard. Luke Mark is on guitar. And lastly, Charlie Wayne plays the drums. The 7-person lineup created Ants From Up There a post-rock and chamber pop staple, and in my opinion, a staple in all music. It is an incredibly melancholic record that is sure to pull on your heartstrings from start to finish. Lyrically, Isaac sings about topics revolving around mostly love, but in an abstract way. This kind of leaves most of his lyrics up to your interpretation, which I love. Sonically, the band moved away from the experimental nature that was present on For the First Time, and although Ants From Up There isn't highly accessible, it would absolutely be my recommendation to someone who hasn't heard any of their work. And for that, I would give Ants From Up There the title of Black Country New Road really coming into their own and discovering their true sound. Instrumentally, this album is gorgeous, but not in the ethereal way you think when you hear the word gorgeous attached to music. It's more just epic, maximalist, and unbelievably lush to the point where it feels like it's comforting you. It never fails to keep my attention during its nearly 1 hour runtime. About that, Ants From Up There consists of only 10 songs and comes out to a dense 59 minutes in duration. Let's go ahead and dive a bit deeper into my actual thoughts on the songs themselves. The album opens up with Intro, which is really just a 54-second instrumental. A true intro, if you will. Like, just to kick things off, start the album off on the right foot briefly but effectively. Then there is the song Chaos Space Marine. It is the first real song on the album. It was the record's lead single, and it came out on the same day the album was announced back in October. This is a quirky, playful song kind of, which are not words that I would use to describe some of the others. Really, most of the others actually. It's also quite easily the most energetic song on the album. Horns are extra prominent in this one, which is really saying something. The ladies in the band providing background vocals near the end of the song is just chef's kiss. Then there is the track Concord, which was another single released before the album. This song is full of different vibes. It starts out very mellow and pretty, and very slowly builds tension all the way up to an explosion of sentimentality in its final minute. Isaac's delivery over the instrumentation of this song, and really all of them, makes for some of the best music I've ever heard. The track Bread Song starts out with only calm guitar and Isaac matching that that perfectly, but as it goes on, it gets much more atmospheric and even kind of suspenseful. It's a post-rock song before anything, but it also contains some strong elements of chamber folk. I love it, and it's definitely the most soft-sounding song on Ants From Up There. Then there is the song Good Will Hunting, which is a nice change of pace from what Concord and Bread Song were. It's another more upbeat and dynamic track. The main riff is so catchy and I guess kind of even fun. This track has such a cool structure too, and one of the most unpredictable on the album. The final chorus of it is so hard-hitting and commanding, and is actually one of my favorite moments on the album. Haldern begins with some beautiful piano and somber guitar. Isaac's vocals become more strained as the song goes on. Haldern doesn't have a mind-blowing climax like some of the others. It has more of a low-key development, I guess, but this is not a complaint because it brings its own thing to the table. Mark's theme is the turning point of the album to me. It sets up the remaining 3 songs, which in my opinion is one of the best 3-track runs to release in recent memory. This is the other instrumental on the album, like I mentioned earlier, and it's dedicated to Lewis Evans' uncle who passed away from COVID-19 in 2021. I personally lost my sister to the virus just over a month ago, and the fact that this song is an instrumental, knowing the meaning and reason behind it, it will always kind of mean more to me now compared to if my sister was still here. And for that, it will always be a comfort song. Without knowing the purpose behind it, you might question why they decided to include it on the album, but I think it is one of the 10 puzzle pieces to completing what we now know Ants From Up There to be. The place where he inserted the blade is an example of progressive pop perfection. It has the best chorus on the album. I envision a crowd of way too many people to count singing it at the top of their lungs. It is arguably the most anthemic song on the record, and it's quite easily in my top 3 favorites on it. Snow Globes is the second longest song on the album at just over 9 minutes long. Isaac doesn't even make himself known as a vocalist until a third of the way through it. This is a crushing song. There is a heightened level of emotion that lingers in each second, but even more so in its final 3 to 4 minutes. Drummer Charlie Wayne just goes berserk on his drum set during this part and delivers debatably the best performance I've ever heard from him. And lastly, the outro, Basketball Shoes. This is the longest song on the album at nearly 13 minutes in length, and after every single listen, it has just brought me to tears. It is wildly progressive. There are basically 3 songs within it. The final one, so to speak, is my favorite part of the album. It is emotionally overwhelming. It makes me think of Isaac leaving. It makes me, as a fan, selfishly wish he would stay, but at the same time, also long for him to get the help that he needs. Basketball Shoes is the best song on the album. It is the most cinematic sounding song, and it is the best song of the decade so far. And I can say the same for the album itself. This is the best album of the 2020s so far, in my opinion. It encapsulates so many emotions in 59 minutes to the point where each listen just feels so rewarding, cleansing, and overall just like a privilege or an honor to hear. The arrangements of the instruments are just perfect and something that I adore. This is just a modern day masterpiece and an album that I look forward to cherishing for the rest of my life. And I think I will leave it at that, everybody. Ants From Up There by Black Country New Road earns itself a 10 out of 10 to me, which means best ever according to my personalized rating system. But what are your thoughts on this album? What are your favorite songs? What are your least favorite songs? What did I talk about that you agree with or disagree with? Tell me it all. Also, let me know any requests you have for a future review from me. You should know by now to never hesitate to hit me up and let me know. Thanks again for watching this. I hope if you enjoyed it, you will consider sharing it, subscribing to me, and or giving this a like. If you want to keep in touch with me outside of YouTube, the links to my TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter are in the description below. And for now, that's all I've got for you, everybody. So once again, I am Nick Fry, also known as Nick's Music Taste, signing off for now.